Hello and welcome to Auten Math. In this edition of Auten Math, we're going to quickly review some of the vocabulary involved in the division of segments and angles for geometry. First, we want to talk about a midpoint. So a midpoint of a segment is just a point that bisects the segment into two congruent segments. So if I have a long segment, let's say it's 4 units long, and I place a midpoint on that segment, and that midpoint is going to divide that 4-unit segment into 2 units or 2 segments of 2 units apiece. Now, one thing that's important to note is that there cannot be a midpoint of a ray or a line, because a ray or a line extends indefinitely. So there is no midpoint to something that is infinite. Second is a trisection point. So just like a midpoint, a trisection point or trisection points of a segment are points which trisect the segment into 3 congruent segments. And again, you cannot trisect a ray or a line because the ray or line extends indefinitely. An angle bisector is a ray which bisects an angle into 2 congruent angles. So here we have one larger angle, and then we have a ray that bisects that angle. So they all have each of the rays has a common vertex, and then the angle measures are going to be the same. So this angle measure here, and this angle measure here are the same measurement. Now those little red round things are used to denote that those 2 angles are also congruent. So if we have the measure of 2 angles that are the same, then we have 2 congruent angles. An angle trisector, similar to the trisection points of a segment, angle trisection 2 rays that share the common endpoint of a larger angle, which break the larger triangle into 3 congruent angles with the same measurement.